Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, I said my next Godzilla video would be part 2 of my most wanted Godzilla figures as a kid. And yeah, most of them I have. Most of them that, I always wanted as a kid, you know, I really have now. So, but yeah. Anyways, part 2. So, for part 2 of my most wanted Godzilla figures as a kid, we'll start out with. I have like a lot of them, so we'll start out with Gigan, or I should say Final Wars Gigan. So, here's Final Wars Gigan, the normal Bandai Creations 6-inch version. Now, I do have another Gigan of this figure, the same one. I even have like the big 12-inch version. Yes, Bandai even made a big 12-inch version of Gigan. I think it was to go along with the big Kiryu and the big Godzilla that was, from that film or whatever. I also have those two figures. Those are stacked away in my closet. But, yeah. And the story of me wanting Gigan. So, I seen him in Final Wars. I think that was my first, maybe not, but I think in Final Wars was really when, I was really kind of interested in Gigan. I never really mind his old look, but his old look, just in my opinion, the old look of him before Final Wars, was not as intimidating. And Final Wars somehow just changing up a little bit of stuff made him look a little bit more intimidating, So, and then, of course, when I seen the chainsaw version of him, that's when I got real hooked on Gigan. But, yeah, so after I seen the movie Final Wars and everything, I got real hooked, and I'm like, I want a Gigan figure. And then, of course, I went on to Google. As a young kid, I went on to Google, and there's this, page or something of the Godzilla for the Wii game. Godzilla Unleashed. Yeah, it was Unleashed for the Wii. And they're showing the monster roster, and he popped off. He popped up. And I remember, the animation. He did some slide or something like that. And it was cool. They had, their own little, animations and stuff. And it was cool. And I remember showing my mom that. And then right after, I remember going to Toys R Us. And I even remember she was like, what if they don't have him there? What are you gonna do, And I'm like, well, I don't fucking know, So, we went there. I talked her, into going, of course, because I'm a little kid, parents want to make their kids happy and shit. So, we went there, and bam. He was, the last one they had. He was the last one. We bought him. I took him home. And the funny thing is, right when we bought him and I took him home, I know this is going to be shocking. I was not interested in him whatsoever. At the time, I was not interested. Very weird, right? So, but as a kid, when I seen Final Wars, this was one figure I wanted. But then when we went to Toys R Us and I bought him, I did not give two craps. But one other funny thing is, this is not even my original Gigan figure. This is one I got a couple birthdays later, and everything on my dad's side of family. And I remember getting him in the Final Wars packaging for that, I think it was birthday or Christmas or something. So my actual one that I remember going to Toys R Us and buying, that one, the head is super loose, because, in the Final Wars movie, when he would shoot the little things out from his, arms there, I would, recreate that scene, and I would recreate the scene where Godzilla, all of a sudden, Gigan's head is just blown off. And the other figure I got, that's still in my closet, but the horn piece is, broken off from over time, big fucking hole in the head, and the head is super loose compared to this one. See how this one's staying on and everything? It's not just popping off. Yeah, the other head, if I did that, would pop right off, and you wouldn't see the little horn piece right there. As you can see, this one's in way better condition, so when I got this one, it was a few years later, and I'm like, you know what, yeah, I don't want to mess this figure up, I don't want to break it, so how about we don't be as rough and, freaking have Godzilla rip this off and, rip his fucking head off a million times, so, yeah, so, anyways, Gigan, however, Gigan. So I'm surprised the head even still connects and it stays on, but if I move it around, the other one, it pops right off. Same figure, but yeah. So there's Gigan. Now, and oh yeah, another thing I wanted to say on the other figure, the spiky tail also broke off too, the spiky tail piece. That broke off on the other one. So, same figure, but yeah. Anyways, another figure, two of them actually, because this is kind of a funny story. So, around a time, once again, a birthday, Christmas, something like that, I think it was actually a birthday, I was downstairs, and my dad, he was on eBay, just looking at Godzilla figures, and I was right there, downstairs, he was, basically, on eBay there, looking at some, and I remember going up to him and eyeballing, according to what he said, I was eyeballing two figures the most, which was Jet Jaguar and Mecha King Ghidorah. Mecha King Ghidorah. Sorry. So, yes, these are the two that apparently, from what he was saying, I was eyeballing. So he ordered these, and then one birthday or Christmas, I think it was really a birthday, I got these in the mail along with one of the Bandai Creations Godzilla 1954 figure. It's not the one that they first made, the Bandai Japan one. It's the other one that they made later on, which, in my opinion, looks nothing like Godzilla 1954, but that's another time. But yeah. So, the two figures, right here. Now, I remember opening that box, besides getting that, in my opinion, non-fucking 1954 Godzilla figure. If there's a way that I could edit the video, I would show you what the figure looks like. I have it, I just don't want to go in my closet and fucking dig it out and shit. Maybe another time for that. But, besides that, Jet Jaguar was such a good-looking figure at the time, He was such a good-looking figure at the time, and man, the battles I would have Godzilla just fucking destroy him. If it was one kaiju that Godzilla would just destroy every, battle, it was always Jet Jaguar. Sometimes it was so bad to where Jet Jaguar, in the movie when him and Godzilla teamed up to face Megalon and Gigan, Godzilla vs. Megalon movie or whatever, I would have him just team up with Godzilla sometimes and not even be a bad guy. Because some of the fights I would have, in my imagination, Godzilla would burn him alive and, set him on fire with the atomic breath and, just destroy Jet Jaguar. But according to my dad, the one figure that, I was eyeballing was Jet Jaguar. So, and the other one was Mecha King Ghidorah. But however, Mecha King Ghidorah, fun fact, never really played with this figure as much. It's a cool looking figure in my opinion. Very cool looking, but never played with it as a kid. I always played with the other King Ghidorah, the normal figure or whatever of this that I showed in my other video, where, the wings pop off super easily, the neck, kind of broken stuff. The one that I have, I think, I don't know if you can, oh, wait, you can't see it. This one right here. Hold on. This one right here. Yeah, so, yeah, and, I would always play with this figure every single time, and, the metal head, of course, had a get cracked and I had to glue it back on and whatnot. It didn't fully come off the middle head, it was just cracked and I kind of glued it back. But yeah, I'd always play with this, normal King Ghidorah, but when it came to Mecha King Ghidorah, I would never honestly play with this thing. Like, he's honestly in like perfect condition out of a lot of Godzilla toys I have. He's in like perfect condition. Like, no cracks in the heads this time around. The wings actually stay on, They stay on. So, yeah, but man, these wings are fucking stiff. There we go. Like, damn. Alright, but yeah, so I don't know what it was as a kid. I don't know if it just, maybe it didn't catch my eye as much as the normal King Ghidorah, but yeah, apparently Mecha King Ghidorah, but I do admit this is a pretty cool fucking figure for the time. Mecha King Ghidorah, though. So, those are two that, I apparently was eyeballing, but yeah, when I fucking got them on my birthday, I remember those are the two Godzilla, well, three Godzilla figures, because I did have that supposedly 1954 Bandai Godzilla figure. But yeah, so, anyways, yeah, I did play with them a lot on that birthday. I had some Star Wars stuff too that birthday. I was playing with that, but that's saying I'm playing with Godzilla stuff. It was weird. But, yeah, so I was playing with that stuff, playing with Godzilla stuff, and the Godzilla stuff I got. Anyways, we need to move on now. I got like 10 more figures here. Like I said, 90% of all these figures I got as a kid, but just remembering, me just wanting them so badly. Now, one figure that I have 3 of this figure. This is, I guess you would say, a colored variant of this figure. A colored variant. It's the best one that I have in, like, the best condition. So that's why I took it out. But none other than Godzilla 2000. Now, like I said, this is, like, one of the colored variants of the figure. I have the other, figure that came out. Actually, 2 of the other figure that came out. Same ones, just not the colored variant. Yeah. Godzilla 2000. And I remember, after seeing that movie, just the look of the Godzilla was badass, So, yeah, it was badass and everything, so yeah. Godzilla 2000, and I remember I wanted the figure so badly. Apparently, I did something good. I can't remember what the hell it was years ago. But I did something good. I came home from, like, being at my dad's, or I came home from, like, school one day, and my family, were acting really weird and very suspicious. They told me, come out to the living room, we got something for you, come out to the living room. Like, I did something really good or some shit. I can't fucking remember what it is. But, yeah, I did something really good. So then, I came out to the living room, everybody is just sitting there, and I'm like, what's going on? My brother, he's hiding something behind his back. I'm trying to figure out what the hell, he's hiding behind his back. Next thing you know, bam, in the packaging, again, I wish I keep a lot of these figures in the box now that I'm older, but in the packaging from, I think, Toys R Us is where they got it, but in the packaging, behold, the normal version of this Godzilla figure I didn't get until years later, but from, the packaging, bam, Godzilla 2000, and of course, I was playing with it, and like 2 hours later, we were going somewhere, and the tail piece broke. The little glue, piece right here broke for the tail. So, it is what it is. I could have just glued it back, but a lot of those, tail pieces that broke and stuff from over time, I have lost. Because, when I'm playing, I used to have, like, Godzilla, go for a big tail swipe kind of hard. And, and the tails would kind of break and, crack from over time. And that glue scene would just, pop right off. So, this one, I don't know how it fucking managed to survive. It survived really good. This is, like, the best conditioned Godzilla 2000 figure, or I should say Godzilla 1999. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is like the best conditioned one I have of this Godzilla. Like I said, this is not the one that I got on that original special day. I still have that figure. It's just in the tub there. It's in beat up condition, and I didn't want to show it off, you know. I wanted to show the best conditioned one off. But yeah. And you might be like, damn, you have a lot of doubles of Godzilla Bandai creations or Bandai Japan figures. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, we got about 6 more, it looks like, to go. Plus another one that I wanted to show off, too. I think I made a video on that a couple months back, but, another Godzilla figure that I semi-wanted as a kid. At the time, hated the fucking movie because, let's just say I didn't like what they did in the movie for 1995's, I think it's 1995, right? 1996, Godzilla vs. Destroyer. As a kid, the look of burning Godzilla was so fucking neat, you know? But I went to a Toys R Us, I think it was like a Walmart or a Toys R Us one day, and I went with my dad and I bought something else. I bought like a different Godzilla figure because I couldn't stand the fact of me getting Destroyer. Well, on a birthday, I got him anyways, and at the time, like I said, I was mad that Destroyer basically beat the shit out of Godzilla in that movie and everything, you know. I was so mad. But then I really got the figure, and yeah, I started really liking it, because it's a badass monster, you know, and I started liking him more, and so I guess you could say, after all, I did always wanted a Destroyer figure. You know, and you can even tell from the backside, used to have the claw thing that broke off, that I don't know what happened. Apparently, I took the figure to my dad's house one weekend, and I would have Godzilla get choked and stuff by the throat and get dragged. Well, one time I thought of a smart idea to have Godzilla actually like blow his atomic breath real hard and like break it off and have Destroyer crash down or whatever. And I set it somewhere, and I never found that piece again. Never did. I set it somewhere, apparently I always thought it got lost under a bed. I mean, under a couch, I'm sorry. I always thought it got, lost under the couch, because that's where I was doing it at. That's where, I was playing, and, and everything, and that's where I thought I lost it. So then I was checking the couch, and it wasn't there. That piece was not there. And I'm like, I swore it was, in the couch here. I swore, under one of the cushions or something. Nope. So yeah, ever since he's been having a non-claw piece to the tail. And the funny thing is, I don't know if he still has it in him. Maybe I did take it out. I don't remember. Or maybe it's just stuck inside of him. And maybe all crammed and all destroyed up. But I stuck my mind as the kid. I stuck a piece of crayon inside of there. And you know how in the old Heisei movies, and some cringy shit Godzilla would do. So I was gonna do this. I stuck a piece of crayon in there, and since Godzilla broke it off, he lost that piece. I was gonna think of a new thing for Destroyer. So every time Godzilla hits his atomic breath, and it hits the chest right here of Destroyer, well, instead of that being a weak zone, because I think that was a weak zone or something in the movie, apparently if Godzilla hit that and didn't hit the horn, and he hit this would absorb Godzilla's, atomic breath, and I would have a crayon that, kind of resembled orange. I would stick that in there, and bam, I would have Destroyer, fling it out, and, boom, fire hitting Godzilla in the face there, knocking him back. Well, one time, the crayon got so lodged deep in there, I could never get it out. And I even remember, like, seeing pieces of crumbs and stuff, too. I don't even see those. Like I said, it's probably deep down in the figure, all crumbled up and crap. But, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, originally I didn't like Destroya, then when I got the figure, you can totally tell, that I wanted it after all. So, Destroya. Next ones here. Really weird, I will say for. This is honestly, and I admit, I wish I didn't pick up this version of this kaiju or monster at G-Fest. Yeah, this is where I got this monster. But, the one, you already kind of seen it, never mind, I was trying to, like, make a good, cool pose or whatever, but, the one, I wish I got, like, an actual better representation of the monster, but, one that I always wanted as a kid was Manda, the big, snake-like creature monster. Well, what does this look like to y'all? Hold on. There, what does that look like to y'all now? Actually, let me put him back in a normal pose so he's now all twisted up and shit. There. What does it look like I'm fucking holding? What does this look like I'm holding? Now you see why I wish I got the YMSF Manda or something. I seen it at G-Fest. I should have bought it. But I was so freaking excited that, oh my god, Amanda, and before you say, this is not Amanda, this is some big giant dragon sex toy or some shit. Nope. This is a Amanda monster. Now, this is not Amanda from the Godzilla, what is it fucking called? Destroy All Monsters movie. And I believe this is not Amanda from Godzilla Final Wars. I believe this is Amanda when Amanda had its own movie, when the snake monster had its own movie fighting the, I think it was called Atragon or some shit like that. The Atragon ship or something, And yeah, because I remember getting it in a sealed plastic baggie. It was a sealed little plastic baggie that this figure was in, and cardboard was stapled to the plastic baggie. That's how it was sealed. And remember, it showed the monster, and it showed the Atragon, ship thingy, and the name was in Japanese. Well, when I went home to look up, what first movie Amanda was in, the snake monster Amanda was in, behold, there it was. I seen that image, but it was like, I forgot the fucking name of the movie. If I ever look up the name of the movie again, I'll let you know the title of it. But I remember seeing the image, and the name was in fucking English, because I don't know how to really speak Japanese. But the name was in English, and then there you go. So this figure was from its original appearance, even though the detail is fucking hard to see. Come on. There you go. See a little bit better of it now. It doesn't look like a big giant fucking dildo, at least. So, there you go. That's better detail. Apparently it's a glow-in-the-dark figure. Yeah. The big giant snake creature Amanda. I just wish I got something better than this at the time. But, I was shocked that I even seen, Amanda, so, yeah. Maybe one time I'll actually buy the YMSF figure, because I even agree, like, I know this is somewhat of a rare toy, because I do see these, like, glow-in-the-dark Godzilla figures, and Godzilla, people's, collection, so, but still, like, is what it is. Amanda. That's one figure I always wanted as a kid when I first seen it, just like with Titanosaurus and Burning Godzilla. I was like, oh my god, I want this kaiju. So, next up. we got, I believe, 5 figures left. 4 to 5. So, the next one I always wanted as a kid, and let me tell you, when I seen its original appearance, fuck Godzilla SOS, fuck Godzilla versus fucking, what is it, shit. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 movie. Now, when I seen the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla from 1974, let me tell you, I, as a kid, wanted that version of Mechagodzilla because, till this day, that is my favorite version of Mechagodzilla. It's the 74-75 version. So, as a kid, me always wanting Mechagodzilla, never could get it, and I remember telling, funny story, I remember telling my dad's sister, hey, I want the bad version of Mechagodzilla. How in the hell is she supposed to fucking know, Isn't Mechagodzilla supposed to be bad, besides the SOS movie or whatever? So, again, she didn't know. So she ended up getting me the big Kiryu, 12-inch Kiryu Mechagodzilla figure for Christmas. And I seen that, and I'm like, oh, this is not the Mechagodzilla I was talking about. Now, don't get me wrong, Kiryu is one cool-ass looking fucking design of Mechagodzilla. But at the time, I was like, that's not the one I wanted. Well, finally, I went to years, I think like maybe a month ago, couple months ago, maybe a year ago, whatever. Sometime later on in the years, I went to this horror festival. And I think it's the Mortar City, Nightmares I went to years ago. I know I just went there recently, like almost probably a year ago now. But I went there years ago as well. And I remember I was actually looking for Amanda at the time. Could not find Amanda. I had to go to G-Fest to find Amanda. But I went there and I was looking in this aisle and this guy had a bunch of Godzilla Bandai figures mint on the card. And one of them was Mechagodzilla 1974. Yep. It was Mechagodzilla 1974. Sad story. I actually used to have another figure of the same figure of this. I used to have another Mechagodzilla 1974 Bandai Creations figure. And oh shit, my camera's fucking going out. Well, let me re-record. Fuck. Hold on.